Hey everyone, quick update today because I just took one trade very early pre-market. I had finished an English lesson and just out of curiosity opened Tradevate to see how the market was going overnight, and I noticed a double trap. So I saw that overnight we had this sharp leg down and then we continued lower. And even though this had a bright new low, once we got this swing here, very strong rejection on this candle and this wick, rejecting the EMA, I thought we're probably going down for at least another leg. And what I saw here, we had a first entry short, second entry short, it failed, and then a double trap. So essentially a third entry short. So my entry doesn't show because it was on the this is NQ. I took it on the MNQ. I think I got in about 3256, about here. That's zoomed in enough. And I think it was about 30. I was showing here about 34 points. Yeah, about 34 point stop. And I got in the end. I take profit was here, so pretty good place to get out because then that proved to be, I believe, the low of. Oh well, we went once lower, but almost the low of the day. But yeah, I felt very good about this trade because as soon as I got in, it just dropped this big bar, dropped this big bar, dropped this big bar, and I wish every trade was that easy. Just no retracement, no pullback, just 100% in my direction. And I did manage to take this with 1 micro on my Apex account, which I said yesterday was on end of life care. I didn't actually explain very well or more in depth what happened. This Apex account copied all the losers yesterday, but it didn't copy the winner of the NQ at the end of the day. And also after one of the losses, it had reversed the position because I didn't have the safeguards in place on my replicanto. So extra losses. And towards the end of the day, I saw like a second entry long below the EMA, but I was just like, this has, I don't know, I had about $50 a drawdown, and I thought, fuck it, let's let's have one last dance. I entered the trade and it must have went 3 or 4 ticks against me, and I was looking at the drawdown on Tradevate and it went to 0. If one more tick it would have blown, but it looks like Apex on their PAs, they must have like a time. They give you a few seconds to survive at 0 drawdown, and it didn't close the position and thankfully reversed at that tick to, yeah, I just gone for 4 ticks, but it was a mini to just try and get some more breathing space. So that came in today with about $110 of drawdown. And this win, I think with 1 micro, it turned out to be $150 more or less, minus commissions. So I think I've got $264 of drawdown. So that's it's off end of life care and back on life support. So I'm getting motivated to get that back and have it, we'll say, miraculously get a payout, because if this went to 0 drawdown and then get a payout, that would be the comebacks of all comebacks. And yeah, with this trade, I just felt good to take this one early and then just not look at the charts for the rest of the day. Yesterday, a few of the bad habits had came back, not accepting a loss and taking other setups, but there were B and C setups, 4 losses in a row, with a win at the end of the day just to limit the damage. But with this win, seeing as it was 70 points, if I'm looking at the P&L and the sim account, this would have made up for all the losses yesterday and put us in more advanced P&L position as I was the day previous. So when the 1 to 2 RR works out, it works out very well. So this is just building the reps, building the experience of having a bad day, and then yeah, coming back the next day with the account intact and making progress. So with this 1 to 2 RR, it feels like you can make one step back, but 2 forward. Whereas with a negative risk reward, I was just making 1 step forward, 4 steps back. As the song goes, this kind of dance can never last. And yeah, it's just I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot my train of thought. But yeah. So I'm now 14 trades down. Or 13, I think it's 13 trades out of 20 on this Mark Douglas 20 trade challenge I wanted to try. Win percentage yesterday just, there was 4 losses in a row, just fucking nuked the win rate. But now the win rate I think is just shy of 70%. Now, if I could maintain it above 60 for the rest of this 20 trade challenge, I should be extremely happy. If you can win more than you lose, plus each winner is double the loss, that's excellent. And at least for me. And just looking at, I know I shouldn't be tracking P&L with this account, but theoretically I would have passed an eval already, more or less have a payout in 1 week. And that's, that's negative risk reward years. Now you're looking at years, quarters of just pain without a payout. Well, without a payout since last October. I know it's not always going to be this good, but maybe going for positive RR for me is what I need. And just, I mean, Max says with Pats you can swing trade it, so maybe that's for me. Maybe I'm just more going for the runner always rather than the scalp. And yeah, again, NQ gave me this nice setup and looks to have setups through the day almost all the time on the 1000 tick chart. I know a lot of people take the 1500 tick chart, but it's quite slow for me. 1000 tick chart for me feels quite comfortable. So I think I'm just going to try and focus on getting these 20 trades down. Hopefully by the end of it, hopefully I don't just nuke everything in the next 7 trades. So I'll have good data by the end just to feel confident. And then I'll go back to the PA, my Lucid PA, the Apex PA. Just 2 maximum 3 micros in the Lucid. Due to the drawdown, it has $700, so don't want to nuke the account immediately. But if I could get some traction going in those PAs, like if I could mirror what I've done so far this week, last week on Sim, on those PAs, I could get some very good progress going and finally, hopefully, think of a payout. But yeah, that's a few weeks down the line. Hopefully, July. Hopefully, July will be my month. Hopefully, the second half of the year will turn this around like a speedboat. Feels like I'm trying to turn around an oil tanker, but hopefully by July we'll get some traction going and hopefully a very good end to the year. So short and sweet today. Hope you had a good trading day, and yeah, see you next time. Peace.